Hi there, today I'm going to be showing you how to use the Portrait Pro Retouch brushes. These brushes are a great alternative to editing anything in Photoshop. They handle most of your editing requirements. They aren't as detailed as what you can achieve in Photoshop. However, you should still be able to edit most of your portraits, especially family portraits, sets, things like that, using these Lightroom brushes. So what I've done is I've selected a portrait of my friend Kathy here, and as you can see, she's already obviously gorgeous, but we're just going to touch her up a little bit using these brushes. I've made all the adjustments I need, so I'm going to stick just to the brushes. Now I've installed them here. As you can see all here, they will be there is a video where you can see how to install them, but for now we're just going to get started. I'm going to select airbrush is what I like to do first. So I'm going to select the third setting. As you can see, there are 4. And I'm just going to paint over her skin, and I'm not going to be too careful because I just want to show you quickly what they do. I'm going to shrink my brush and get in there under her eyebrows. There we go. So you can feather the brush as much as you'd like or as little as you'd like. You can also use the retouch function in Lightroom, the spot heal, where you can get rid of things like blemishes and things like that. Kathy doesn't have any. So what I'm going to do is zoom in. You can see, there we go. And what I'm going to do is show you, whoops, there we go. So right back to the beginning. There we go. So that's the difference it's made, which is quite significant. So again, I'm going to deselect the brush. There we go. So after the brush, I usually like to do the eyes, and we've got your enhanced eyes. There's 4 sets, so I'm going to select brown and show you what that does. And I'm actually just going to make sure that I'm careful to go over just the iris, and I'm going to try and avoid the pupil there. And over on this side as well. So you can see it's making a pretty significant difference there. So again, let's go back before and after. Okay, so once I work on the eyes, the next thing I'll move on to is teeth and eye whitening. We can't see any teeth here, however it works the same. Oh, we can see teeth here actually. So I'm actually going to, sorry about that, select my whitened teeth. There we go, and just use a really, really tiny brush. Now this one is really subtle. Personally, I don't like fake looking white teeth, so there we go there. That's done. You can always go over again if you'd like to. The next option I'm going to select is the whiten eyes. So this is for the eye whites. It helps remove a little bit of the red as well, the red veining, while still keeping it realistic. And I'm also going to hit those catch lights there. There we go. So you can see I'm just painting that on there. Again, we'll go back and ahead. So it's just adding a little bit of brightening to the eyes. That's generally what I do with all the eyes. Now, the next I have is reduce redness and reduce greens. Whoops, let's open up fully. I don't really have any red casts here except on her cheeks. There we go. I apologize for my computer moving slow there. I don't really have a whole lot of red. I am going to reduce it just slightly in the cheeks so you can see what it does. There we go. And it just brings the reds down a little bit. And we'll reduce it a little bit more. So just a slight adjustment there. I actually don't want it, so I'm going to move back. There we go. Okay. So the next options we have are to warm the image up or to cool it down. This image does feel a little bit warm in the skin. Her hair and the flowers I'm quite happy with. Whoops. There we go. So her hair and her flowers I'm quite happy with. So I just want to cool down her skin a little bit. So I'm going to brush over top of that. So that's what that does there. And again, I'm not being too careful. You will want to be when you edit for sure. So that's just taken a little bit of the orange out of her skin. It's given her kind of a nicer, kind of healthier glow. The next thing I have an HDR brush, which I don't really feel is appropriate for this image, so I'm not going to use it. However, it does create an HDR effect on specific things. And we've got an increased contrast and a decreased contrast. Now I'm going to increase the contrast on the flowers just to bring out a little bit of color, so we can really see how beautiful those are. Okay, now it's only made a slight difference. Again, we're not trying to go overboard there. And again, I'll take it back and bring it forward. So just a little bit more contrast there. So that's what those brushes do. Again, we have some things to bring back the highlights and bring back the shadows. Now, because there's a little bit in the hair, I am going to use it just a little on the hair, just right up there. And that brings the details where we've lost them back just a little bit. Again, there we go. And with the change. So you'll see that it's really a lot more dramatic when the highlights are actually blown out in wedding dresses, things like that. So that's what those are for. I don't see anywhere where we really need to bring back the shadows. The next we have is Color Punch. So what Color Punch does is it gives a color pop, and we'll use it just to see what kind of effect it has here on these flowers. So again, it's just really going to give your colors a big pop. There we go. So really, really gives you vibrant colors, things like that. I might use it on the necklace as well, just to bring out the details a little bit. And actually, I quite like that effect on there. Now you can see I got a little bit on the skin there. You definitely don't want to use this on the skin. So I'm just going to go back and erase that back. Just a little bit. There we go. Okay. The next brush we have in the set, we've got the blackest blacks and the whitest whites. Again, I don't have any real blacks or whites in this image. Whoops. Oh my goodness. There we go. I don't really have any blacks and whites in this. However, this is ideal for wedding dresses or the blackest blacks for tuxedos. So it just gives the whites more of a white and the blacks more of a black. Now I do have a Dodge It and a Dodge It More. I dodge and burn almost all of my portraits. So for the Dodge brush, I'm going to go up here and get that T-zone that you traditionally get in under the eyes just a little bit. There we go. There, and that's actually quite a strong effect, so I'm actually going to bring it down even just a little bit more. There we go. And then, of course, we've got the Dodge brush as well. Burn it. And again, just along the shadows. That's quite intense for this portrait. It is not always. There we go. That's really, really slight effect there. So I'm actually going to decrease that one as well. So you can dodge and burn your images using this. And again, if I'm dodging, I'm going to hit there and there as well. There we go. All right, so now beyond that, we have a Sharpen. Sharpen is great for details like the eyes or even those flowers. There we go. And over here as well. So we do have a Sharpen It More option, which I don't really think is necessary for this image, but that just gives the eyes a little bit more of a standout look. There we go, before and after. So it just crispens things up. Again, there is the Sharpen It More option if you need a little bit more than that. So we also have Blur and Blur It More. So it does the exact opposite of Sharpen. It softens things up. So if you have really intense details, it works great for softening backgrounds, which again we don't need for this image, but that's what it would be for. Then we have a Blue Skies. So for outdoor portraits, your Blue Skies pen is going to give you beautiful blue colors in your skies. You just paint it over the sky. Lighten it and darken it. That's really just to bring out certain details. If you, for example, with landscapes, you may have details you want to bring out. That's what it would be best for. And then the last two brushes, we have a Fall Color brush, which is great for painting onto trees. Again, I can't really show you in this, in this image. However, we have the Fall Color brush, which is great for bringing out the yellows and oranges in trees. As well, we have the Reduce Moire, which occurs depending on your lighting and sometimes the fabric. It reduces the banding that you see in shirts. So that's it for the Portrait Pro Retouch brushes. I will post in the comments, I'll post a before and after of this image. I'm just going to turn this off so you can see. I'll post a before and after high resolution, but that's after and very beginning. So it's quite dramatic, you can see there. So you can actually really achieve quite a bit with the adjustment brush in Lightroom. Thank you for watching our video, and if you have any questions, please feel free to add them in the comments, or if you have any video requests, please add them into the comments as well. Thank you very much.